So like basically the devs are just, we're going to massage up the throughput a little bit, and we're going to massage up the gas a little bit, and it should be fine because we've got lower like load anyway. And then we're going to burn 25% of the fees net, so that you have much more burn than Ethereum has. And then I'll feel very happy. Everyone gets to do coins, higher throughput, cheaper fees, valid and secure consensus network as audited as exists in the world, and that's where we're at. And the good thing is our code, like, because the merge it only changed, the merge offloaded certain parts of what Geth used to do to another EXE. And so like now when you're an ETH miner, you're a validator, you run 2 XEs, you run Geth and you run this other one. And so because it's isolated in that way, all of our code for like handling injecting system state is still valid. So that's great. So this, you would think that it would like make it longer to market because you're switching to ETH 2.0, but it actually makes it shorter to market because those audits are done and that consensus network is working live. And
but so the testnet, which is live now, that's still a fork of Pulsechain.
That's still, yes, correct.
Right.
And the V3 testnet that you're going to see come up is going to be a fork of the real mainnet Ethereum.
Yeah, and there you will massage the throughput. You're going to increase the burn of each fee.
Exactly. So we're going to burn the 20. So whatever you would have received as a validator, we're going to burn 25% of that. Now I need to make sure there's no little edge cases because it's a little bit complicated, all this stuff, right, with slashing and everything. So I just have to make sure there's no edge cases. But like the general theme of we're just going to burn 25% of whatever you would receive net, and that's going to reduce supply. It's pretty valid, and I hope we don't run into edge cases with it.
And what kind of improvement do you think it will be in comparison to ETH when it comes to?
I would start at really minimalist with it. I mean, I would even be okay with not even, like, you should be able to do a 10% bump. You really should, because the network's less loaded anyway because there's less users on it. So you should be able to bump the gas 10% and lower the transaction block times 10%. And those two will compound to like an 11% gain, or no, like more than that. I think it's like a 21% gain. And so you'll have a 21% like higher throughput, but you'll have like infinitely lower costs because the majority of the lower cost comes from just having less users to start with. So, this idea that you need to increase throughput and lower block times to get lower costs is a little silly when like 99% of your lower cost is from just having less users. If you had the same number of users, then those would matter a lot. But if you have like 10x or 100x less users, those numbers don't matter as much.
Yeah, but users come quickly. We saw it with Pulsechain, for example. They come very quickly. All the bots, as soon as people start, there's now infinite amount of arbitrage, and if it's low fees, then you can do it more efficiently, and you can act on more arbitrage. So the fees, as long as there is some activity and some trading.
Well, that's the thing is like, I think it almost might be so because of those things that you just said, it kind of defeats the idea that higher throughput equals lower fees. Because those ARB bots will just suck up the extra space, making their ARBs a little bit more efficient. So like this idea that you're going to get lower fees with more space, you're like, yeah, a little, but the ARB bots fight it. Like they suck that space up with like stupid other stuff.
I mean, there's got to be a lot of interest from centralized exchanges. Is that something?
I mean, like OKX wants to list it, and I'm sure other exchanges want to list it too. They just want to see it in the real world, and especially in the bear market. During the bear market, these guys are laying off staff left and right, doing anything they can to generate volume because they're losing money every day. They're not making money, they're losing money.
We have Enchanted again asking about the consensus, and if I want to be a validator, can I delegate, or I need
it's different now. So you're not, the delegation stuff, while awesome, it has some upsides because it removes that having to have 32E thing and like having to give some keys to somebody else and like having to run a server and all that stuff. We're not going to have that now. And there's probably some guys that like were set up servers and ready to do that just they're gonna have to find something else to do with that hardware right now because we're going to use the same consensus method that Ethereum 2.0 uses currently. So it's just better.
Yeah, and in ETH you have I don't remember what it's called, but you have these contracts that can pull together ETH and they can stay there.
If people are smart, they can buy down the central counterparty risk using those methods you're talking about. But look, I'm not an expert on those, so I don't know whether they're really fake decentralized or real decentralized. I hope they're really decentralized, but I've seen so much fake garbage in crypto that I'd have to look specifically into it. I want to get to market, right? Like I don't want to dick around with like changing parameters or adding features. I want to get to market. Like even if we get to market without massaging the gas and the block timing, if they're so easy, I think we can just do that. But if they weren't easy, I would just go straight copy and fix it later. Straight copy, fix it later. Let's go. Get the market. Let's go. Free coins. Free coins. Cheaper. Let's go. Free coins and cheaper is enough. Faster, great if you have it, but it's not mandatory.
Exactant in the chat asks about the stablecoin value on Pulse. And
if they are breached, USDC and USDT can invalidate all of the stablecoins on any fork because they have an admin key. But they didn't choose to do that on the ETHW fork. So cool. I think that the most commonly used stablecoin is going to be a bridged-in stablecoin until they launch a native version on the chain. So you can get native USDC on Tron, you can get it on Ethereum, you can get it on AVAX, I think. So like there's other chains that have native issued stablecoins. They just care that there's a working consensus network and users, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw native stable issued on Pulse from the same guys that have issued them on other chains.
Yeah, they issue it on Tron, they issue it on all kinds of chains. So it would make sense that they also expand as Pulsechain gets traction. But what we will see from the beginning are all the copied ones. What's the game theory going to be, you think, with stablecoins?
I really don't know. I don't know. I think that they'll have much lower value than the ones that are redeemable for real money. I think probably people will empty them for things that have more community traction. So you'll probably see people, I mean, look, my guess is you'd see people dump a lot of stables or copied stables on the Pulse chain. I think you'd see them dump for stuff that has probably traction like Pulse, PulseX, and Hex, because like my guess is that those 3 coins in the beginning will have the largest communities just because I invented it and I also invented X. And so like all of those dudes that already kind of know me and my stuff, they would probably rather be in the stuff they like than in the stuff that they don't care about. So like, that's my guess. My guess is that you'll see people dump coins that don't have great adoption for coins that do. And then maybe if there's like great price opportunities from like things just being underpriced, because like at some point, like my gut feeling is that same code, same ticker symbol, price of Link goes up on the Hex chain, probably price of Link goes up on the Pulse chain. My guess. Same code, same ticker. After maybe they flop around a while, maybe they start to move together at some ratio, you know? Just like, look, why is Ethereum moving around with Bitcoin? They do. Why is Bitcoin moving around with stocks? They do. And so stuff tends to like move around with other stuff. It's like similar. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw tickers on Pulse chain move around with more volatility than as a leverage position as the tickers on Ethereum. Except for like straight failures. Like if you have an admin key coin that just like uses their admin key to nuke a chain, and then you shouldn't be participating in that anyway, should you? Like, should you be participating in coins that have admin keys? It's not the greatest idea, you know. Like this one guy can come and take all your money whenever he wants. Sucks. I would avoid that if at all possible.
So someone was asking about the snapshot of the state, and is that going to be at some date in the future when there's more clarity on the tech, or you have some date?
It's a real fork. It's going to be a real fork. So there's some delay, there's some lag because it takes time to write to the database, but we'll probably announce a block height within a couple day window. Probably. I'm just guessing on that. Because like you just want to make sure no one can game anything by like knowing the timing. So people don't need to know an exact time. I don't think a range of times would be fine. It would even be fine if we didn't announce the time at all, I think. But you know, I think for some people they'd like to know time. So I'll probably give them like in this range, we're trying to launch kind of thing, you know.
Makes sense.
Because maybe they want more of this one thing copied, and you know, because like, look, if you have your coins in a centralized exchange, you're not getting the copies. They are. I hate centralized exchanges. So like, it'd be better if you put the coins in your own wallet, got copies yourself instead of giving that value for free away to the exchange that doxes you, makes you beg for your own money, etc. I hate exchanges, dude. Hate them.
How much will I need in order to stake?
32. Same. I don't see a reason to change that.
Does it have to be connected?
We're trying to change as few parameters as possible. They're known, working good. I don't want to change anything if I don't have to.
Well, does it have to be connected to the dollar value that it's, or it doesn't matter if it's $1.30 or?
Well, you can never tie it to a dollar value, or you have Oracle problem, central point of failure, scumbaggery. So it has to be native currency only, 32 ETH. So you can never, in no blockchain can you ever tie something to a real dollar amount, where you are a slave to whoever runs the server that tells you what a dollar's worth forever. I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's robust, reliable.
That's if you need real time. But do you think when ETH picked 32, why 32? They probably looked at how much one ETH is worth, that it should be not $1 million, but also not like 5 cents, or is it fully disconnected?
Well, I hope that's not how they did it, because if that is how they did it, then I should change that number. I could go back and look at the EIPs and see like their logic on it. We could go and discover what their logic was on that, but I'd really rather just copy known good working things, because like you would actually prefer it to be cheaper, and it supports millions of validators out of the box. So like, I'll give it a night of thought. But like, what are we're not going to have 1 million validators off the bat. We're not going to have 1 million users off the bat. It'll take a while, you know. Like, you can always fix it later too. Like, we know it works now. Let's run with it. Let's go. We know it works now. If we start to get hiccups or any kind of weirdness, we'll fix it.
Franklin says, Richard, I used to work at Circle. They won't add USDC to Pulsechain unless they're able to KYC heavily. All the chains, with the exception of ETH, are centralized heavily. If you want to,
so KYC me. What do I give a fuck? You think I've never KYC'd before? Come get my docs, bro. I don't care. I've KYC'd before. You think I bought the fucking world's largest diamond without KYCing, bro? I didn't. But like, it really should hit 10 through 50. Really.
Nicole is asking if we're gonna do 1,000x in the first 300 days, 65 days.
How do I know? Do I have a crystal ball? I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna do. Nobody does. It's not knowable. It could do something crazy, sure, but nobody knows what the probability of it is actually happening.
What about?
I mean, look, launching in a bear makes it more likely, right? Like, launching in a bear makes it easier to go up more.
Someone asked about PulseX, and if there are any changes to liquidity incentivization. Let's see. Are there any updates on tokenomics for the incentive token for LP?
No.
On PulseX?
Nope. No updates. You're gonna, there'll be rewards. If you like them, cool. If you don't, whatever. That's the black sheep token. That's the token I care the least about. I care about Pulse. I care about PulseX, the incentive token. The incentive token that has not a name. It doesn't have a fucking name. That's how much I care about it. So like, you know, it'll get a name. People probably want it. Maybe they'll have a dog picture. Who knows? People like dog pictures. I care the least about that token.
Probably. Enchanted
small updates. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Basically, small updates. That's what you said. Small updates would be really appreciated, even if it's a tweet saying dev's still working. Can't wait for testnet.
Oh god, dude. Okay, duly noted, man. I got so burnt out about it when you guys savaged me from that one time estimate was given, and like I got punished for that. I didn't deserve to be punished for that. I'm jaded now. Like I don't want to tell you guys nothing now because you like were so mean about that. I'm like, damn. Okay, well I just won't tell you anything then. Like you don't need to know nothing. I don't work for you. What's done was done.